precious to waste. I'm going to share my adventure with you. This is 52 weeks. G'day, I'm on the road heading to Albury. It's just felt like doing a bit of travelling. I haven't got out of town for a while, so I'm heading to Albury for an overnight. It's not far from where I live, it's about an hour and a half, but just some time out of town and road. Time out of town just to refresh a bit. I've just stopped at Can on the way because there's a good pie shop here, so I'm going to grab a pie for lunch before heading on to Albury. Well, the traditional way to eat a pie in Australia is with tomato sauce, as you all know, but when you get a really good pie, I don't bother, and this place does pretty good pies. So I grabbed a mushroom pie for lunch. And it's pretty good. I'm going to tuck into that. Fortunately, it wasn't so hot that you saw me burn my tongue and scream. So good temperature, nice tasting pie. Alrighty, that's lunch done. Can's quite a nice little community village. Pretty busy. Lots of people in the bakery having coffees and stuff like that. Nice place. But I'm heading off to Albury now, so we'll see when we get to Albury. Well, I'm here and checked in. Albury's a nice place and I'm pretty familiar with it. I actually lived and worked in Albury for 3 years back in the 90s. It's changed a little bit since then. I'm quite often travelling backwards and forward to Melbourne, which is where I'm originally from, and back to Wagga, which is where I live now. So I go through every now and again, and before I went away on my long service leave trip to Thailand, I was travelling up here probably every month to 6 weeks for my work. Since being back in the age of Zoom meetings, I haven't travelled up here for work, or down here for work as the case may be. So I'm here and checked in, as I say. The plan today is to go down and spend some time by the river, and also have some time in the main street, just wander around, see how things have changed since I lived here. And then I'll grab some dinner tonight and have a nice leisurely breakfast and a leisurely trip home tomorrow sometime. Today's trip was pretty good. It was just nice getting out of town, travelling, seeing a bit of the countryside as I travel, and not having to think about work too much. That's always a bonus. But for now, let's head down to the river. Well, I've crossed over the Murray River, which means that I've crossed over into Victoria, in the state of Victoria. So that means that the cows you're looking at are New South Welsh cows. I came over by the bridge that links Albury in New South Wales with Wodonga in Victoria, which used to be the main crossing point of the highway between Sydney and Melbourne. But they've since bypassed Albury and Wodonga on the highway, so all of the through traffic doesn't have to come through the city centre anymore. So it's a little bit quieter than it used to be, but still quite busy because lots of people travelling between the two cities. I've ended up at the Gateway Village. I think it's called the Gateway Village. It was the Gateway when I was working here, and it used to be kind of disused buildings and older factory type arrangements and things like that. I must admit I didn't actually pay much attention to it when I worked here, but now they've done a reno job on it, and it's a really nice arts precinct. It's got a walkway along the river, which is quite nice. I went for a bit of a walk along there. Didn't do it all. It's quite extensive, goes down to some wetlands and stuff like that, so that's something to do in the future next time I decide to get out of town and come to Albury. but the arts precinct has lots of stuff in it. It has galleries and craft areas and art societies and a whole range of stuff that happens here. Really good. So that's nice. It also has, it's the home of Hothouse, which is the theatre company that grew from the theatre company I used to work for when I lived here in Albury, which was the Murray River Performing Group. So it has the office here, and they've got a theatre here now called the Butter Factory, which strangely enough was a butter factory. None of that was even thought about when I was here. We used to share a building with the Flying Fruit Fly Circus, which also came out of the Murray River Performing Group, but long before my time. Yeah, so we were sharing a big building with them at that stage. Yeah, it's a nice little spot. Lots of things to do. I'm going to head into town shortly. I might stop off and have a look at the other side of the river, which was just across from the office and rehearsal rooms for the Murray River Performing Group when I worked for them. We used to perform all over the place. We didn't have a set theatre. We would do it in the New Albury Hotel and halls and all sorts of places. We did shows in the courthouse and on a riverboat and a whole range of stuff, so we got around a bit. Yeah, so I'm heading back shortly. Going to have a look around town and then grab some dinner, and that might be it for me tonight, I think. Poor old fella that I am. Good morning. Had a pretty good night's sleep. I'm staying here at the Mercure in Albury. Pretty comfortable. Going to head out, grab some breakfast, early morning, and then head for home.